Hey folks, Tito, Jeff Thitoff here with you with the Black and Gold Blitz, Daily Blitz, all about Steelers. Let's do it. Lots to talk about today. Follow me on Twitter. I am at ThitHappens on Twitter where you can find me. Okay. Steelers right now, this time of year, it seems like almost deja vu all over again, as Yogi Berra would say. Still no decision on Aaron Rodgers. And all the things the Steelers did and maybe more importantly did not do in this offseason leads me to believe that the Steelers believe Aaron Rodgers is coming back for another year to play with the Steelers. Art Rooney II came out, the Steelers owner, and said that he is still expecting to hear from Aaron Rodgers before the 2026 NFL draft, which takes place, ironically, in Pittsburgh. This is what Rooney said to the Pittsburgh Gazette on Sunday. I still expect that. I expected an answer before the draft. When I talked to him and Omar Khan, talked to him, he told us he wasn't going to take as long this year as it last year to make a decision. I'm not 100% sure what that means, but I expect something before the draft. He expects something. Who knows Aaron Rodgers? Look, dude, it's Aaron Rodgers. We don't know what Aaron Rodgers... No, I don't even think Aaron Rodgers knows what Aaron Rodgers is thinking half the time. So, I think we will find something out before the draft. I think the Steelers, although they won't put like the hard deadline on it, I think they pretty much just said, Aaron Rodgers, hey, we got to know sooner rather than later. It can't drag on like last year. Because of, look, in the draft this year, there's not a lot of quarterbacks for the Steelers in their range worth taking that could be the number one guy going into the next year. It's not like, if there were several Mendozas, Indiana, maybe at that point. But all their backup plans now are pretty much dead, almost all of them. And I don't think they ever really wanted Kyler Murray, but he's also now off the board. He will be over in Minnesota. Tua Tagovailoa, also off the board. Malik Willis, off the board as well. He goes to the Jets. So all those guys who could have been potential options for the Steelers in the event that Rodgers doesn't come back, they're now gone. The only ones that are left, the only one that really is left is Kirk Cousins or the draft or Will Howard. I'm not sure. There's been a lot of great things said by Mike McCarthy, Omar Khan, by ownership about Will Howard. Will Howard, the former Buckeye, again, Buckeye guy. So I'm a bit biased there. I would love to see Will Howard get the shot. I think the best thing for Will Howard would be to have Aaron Rodgers come back. If Rodgers comes back, Howard gets another year to learn under him, learn under McCarthy, and then maybe take the job after that. The worst case scenario is the Steelers draft a quarterback in the first couple of rounds, first 3 rounds this year. They've got multiple picks, obviously, in the first few rounds. But I hope they don't do that. I hope look, and I'm not against Kirk Cousins. I would just rather bring Rodgers back. Rodgers comes back, plays another year. Will Howard learns under him. And then next year, in 2027, Will Howard could potentially take over at that point. I know the 2027 quarterback draft is going to be loaded. But this year's draft, not loaded. Mendoza, and then a bunch of question marks. So I don't know what will happen with this if Rodgers decides not to come back. But I have to believe, based on his relationship with Mike McCarthy, current Steelers head coach, I think, and his respect for the Steelers, I think he will make a decision sooner rather than later, and I truly believe the Steelers believe he will come back, or they may have made different choices this offseason. One of the guys in the draft is Ty Simpson from Alabama, and he's been linked to numerous teams because, look, he's not a first-round talent, but he'll go in the first round. Somebody will trade up or somebody will grab him in the first round. Even though he's not a first-round talent, he's also the second highest graded quarterback in the draft. We've heard Dan Orlovsky talk about him. Dan Orlovsky loves him, thinks he's better than Mendoza. That's cuckoo talk. I would say something, well, I guess I could say whatever I wanted to. That's a bunch of bullshit. That he thinks that Ty Simpson's better than Mendoza. And I don't like Mendoza either, but Ty Simpson's not Mendoza. I can't see any way the Steelers would draft Ty Simpson. And the big reason is because his lack of experience. 15 starts? Look, we've seen too many guys come through. Just look at Anthony Richardson. I mean, we've seen guys come through. Trey Lance that have little experience at all starting at college, at the high college level, and comes in and be successful. Trubisky, Mitch Trubisky, another one. The Steelers have had a history with him. But so I don't think they would take Ty Simpson. I think if they're going to take a quarterback, if they decide they're going to, they'll take one in the 3rd or 4th round. They'll grab like a Carson Beck type of player. But Ty Simpson's got way too much hype around him. The Steelers will not use their 1st-round pick on Ty Simpson. They will not do it. Now, I've seen mock drafts where the Steelers take, say, a wide receiver in the 1st round, then trade back up into the 1st round to grab Simpson. I hope they don't do that either. I have very little faith in Ty Simpson, and I certainly don't think he's worth a 1st-round pick. The Steelers, look, they still need an offensive lineman. That's their big thing. They need help there. I know they grabbed Michael Pittman Jr. in free agent. Well, the trade, then signed him to a contract extension. And then they also signed Jamel Dean from Tampa Bay to be opposite of Joey Porter Jr. And I like the Rico Dowdle signing. I like Kenneth Gainwell more. Hated Kenneth Gainwell when the season started last year. Like him more now. He's now in Tampa. Rico Dowdle comes here to be, I guess, a backup to Jaylen Warren. We'll see what happens there. Caleb Johnson, not sure about him still from Iowa, the running back they used a high pick on. But as I'm looking at the Steelers roster, and I wonder if Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end out of Oregon, if he's available when the Steelers are picking. I know they need an offensive lineman. They absolutely need an OL. No doubt about it. Can't argue that. They need an offensive lineman. But if Sadiq is there, do they consider that? The Johnny Smith thing did not work out. Freiermuth's still there, and I love Freiermuth. He's great. But if Freiermuth were to get hurt, you're really in trouble there at that position for the Steelers. So Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon, if he happens to fall to 21, would the Steelers consider him? He's the best tight end in the draft. The next one, by the way, for me is Max Clare from Ohio State. So the Steelers, I guess, in theory, could wait maybe until the 2nd round or maybe the 3rd round to get Max Clare. We'll see on that one. But I also know they need offensive linemen, and they also need linebacker help. And another name that I've seen thrown out there for mock drafts is C.J. Allen, linebacker from Georgia, an off-ball linebacker. And he could be somebody who the Steelers will also consider at 21. So if Sadiq is there, I wonder if they'd take him or consider him at least. If not, do they go C.J. Allen? Do they go offensive lineman? They need linebackers. They need offensive linemen. Both. Sadiq would be a luxury, but if he's there at 21, it might make a lot of sense. All right, folks, that's it for me, Jeff Thitoff. Follow me on Twitter @ThatHappens. This has been the Black and Gold Blitz on FanStream Sports.